we can do.
What can you do?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yes.
The Sudanese need electricity and irrigation, but most people here believe that a much less damaging site could have been chosen for the dam. I could only find one person who was prepared to say so. The grande dame of Nubian politics is Suad Ibrahim. She believes that because the Nubian people are so fiercely independent, they are a threat to the fundamentalist government.
These dams have removed the carriers of our culture. We are not a pure blood. We are carriers of an ancient culture that managed to remain vibrant even after we lost the ability to write. We are illiterate in Nubian letters. I am just beginning to remove my illiteracy. These people are the carriers of our culture. Inundation means a very rough shortening, cutting.
You would think they would be proud of the Nubian heritage.
They ought to be. They
Yeah.
ought to be. They ought to be. We are Sudanese. We do not plan. We are not separatists. We believe the Sudan from Halfa to Numili is our home.
But why would they want to inundate or bury Nubian culture?
No, they wouldn't put it that way.
Of course not.
They wouldn't put it that way.
But that was the
originally dams were loved. Now the whole world is against dams. Originally dams were considered the way to progress, the way to provide industry, to irrigate more land, and so on and so forth. They give us beautiful words about development, but it's not development. What has happened is that we were scattered. Our kids are now living on the outskirts of cities all over, whether in Egypt or in Sudan, because many don't like where the places that they are taken to. And in Sudan, Kajbar Dam is different in that it is a political structure. It has nothing to do with development.
It's so sad to think that even more of this rich ancient culture will be lost. 20 miles away, just beyond the reach of the new dam, archaeologists are making some of the most surprising discoveries in the whole of Africa. This is Kerma, Nubia's first capital, a 4,000-year-old city emerging from the sand. Every winter for the past 30 years, the Swiss archaeologist Charles Bonnet has been digging here.
Here, naturally, we have the people doing the first cleaning of the surface and appearing, we can see the wall appearing step by step. It is a marvelous discovery because...
oh, right there?
Yes,
oh,
you can see a break. This break appear during the last seconds. And this break have more or less 3,800 years.
This is 3,800 years old?
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
One of the strangest structures I've ever seen dominates this site. To me, it looks like a massive termite mound.
This monument is a defufa. It is a Nubian term, used generally to explain a construction done by men, and you can see it from far away in the horizon. In fact, it is the late period of a huge temple. Probably we have under a very small chapel, and step by step it's become this big monument done in mud brick. It was the main temple of the city, and it is the center of the city. We have the palace, we have the defufa, with all this religious quarter. We have in this side a lot of chapels, and you have to think that we are cleaning the surface of the city. That means if we go deeper and deeper, we can find other cities with older naturally, with other institutions. And this is fascinating, naturally.
It is.
A thriving African city built before Stonehenge. And now the team is finding remains of an even more ancient city that dates back 5,000 years, older than even the pyramids of Giza. It's the very oldest city found so far in the entire continent of Africa.
How much work remains to be done?
Everything, I must say, because it is the first town of a huge kingdom, 1,000 kilometers along the Nile. It is the first level of a town, and there are many levels preserved. It is 240 graves, and there is still 20,000 graves to dig. I think that this region is, at the world past, one of the most interesting regions of the world.
But why are there so many sites in Egypt and not south of the border, not here in Sudan?
Well, I think that Europeans choose to dig in Egypt. But you know, Egypt is extraordinary. When you think to the huge monument, you think to the temples. But today, archaeology is changing. We are thinking to men. And it is naturally marvelous to find a very beautiful statue, to find a treasury. But to find men, it's maybe an extraordinary answer too. And it is why I'm passionate here. It is to find the men of the past and to understand better the men of today.
Thank you.
I began this journey in search of the black kingdoms of the Nile. To be perfectly honest, I was afraid that tales of lost cities and black pharaohs were only a figment of someone's imagination. I never dreamed that I'd actually find pyramids, painted tombs, and entire cities. But what makes me sad is that a lot of this could still disappear before anyone really has a chance to understand it.